Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, repeat back, and tonight again, it's the NNR Cup Series this time from Daytona. We're going to be under the lights, and because it's Thursday, you get it. I get to hang out with the one and only HD Motorsports. HD, we got a couple things to talk about, couple of changes. Again, some new guys and some new rides. 80 laps tonight, high banks, high draft. Hopefully, that single file line we were just talking about, but get ready for it, bud.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one, man. We're going to Daytona under the lights, Pete.
Man, I can't wait. The trucks, they tried their best to really get that second line moving. The Xfinity guys, they did the same thing. Stout and I, we had a ball with that. And then last night during the fun run, which a lot of guys took part of, I think we had like 25 guys out there, almost as well, actually just as big as the field tonight. Yeah, we're gonna have 25 of the NNR's Cup regulars on the track, and they say they're going to get racy. The people, just like they did at Talladega, and they kind of did their thing there. They said if you're locked into the chase, which starts here in just 2 weeks after Darlington next week, um, go for it. Don't ride. Get up, get racy, and get going. That'll make this 80 lap shootout quite a bit better. But we'll have to see. They lived up to their word most of the time when we went to Dega, and we did that. I think what was it, like 5 or 8 laps of side by side racing, which was amazing. I've still got the clip. But HD, we talked about some guys in new rides. We got to point out the one and only Amore Smoke right off the bat. He moved from the 42 to allow that number to go to CGMX Rose, and now Amore is in the 18. First time he's ever driving a Toyota. What do you think of the moves that you've seen so far?
Well, first off, tip of the hat to More Smoke to giving up his number to CGMX Rose, who's now the driver for what that team is, esports team. I can't think of it right now, but
Chip
he's
Ganassi,
driving.
yep.
Yeah, Chip Ganassi Racing, exactly. He's driving for Chip Ganassi Racing. So hats tipped off to More Smoke to let him run that 42 car here in NNR. But honestly, it's still gonna be a More Smoke. I mean, the cars don't really mean anything. It's just a badge at the end of the day, and they all run the same speeds. I mean, even last week, CGMX Rose said, "Nah, the car feels exactly the same. Like nothing has changed." Because Rose came from a Toyota dominant where he ran Toyotas only all the time to the Chevy. So I mean, we're gonna see the same. A More Smoke still. I expect him to be up front and contend for wins.
So do I. Except I can't really look at him the same way now because he's driving that Kyle Busch car. I don't know. But they are qualifying. So we're going to head on over, get this Anthem in. There we go. And then we're going to talk about our picks. Think who you want. I have a pretty good feeling who it's going to be. Joker de Pablo, thank you very much for the follow, sir. We're about to get racy, but first things first, please stand and remove your hats. Here's Madison Rising.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallant
All right, as always, got to give a big thanks to Madison Rising for allowing NNR to use their version of the national anthem at the start of every NNR series race, whether it's the trucks on Sunday, Xfinity on Tuesday, or Cup guys here on Thursday night. Um, Guys, please go and take a look on to Spotify and pull these guys up. They actually got a really good playlist. Um, can't say anything bad about them at all. Mama Bear, thank you very much for checking in. Always great to see you. Silent Killer, thank you for the sub. Absolutely appreciate it. Joe's 99 and K Drum. Unfortunately, no, this is it's a closed league for now. They're too close the to the um, to the chase. They actually run next week at Darlington, and then they start their chase round. So it's closed right now. But if you go to nnrleague.com and leave a message there, the one and only Coey will get back to you maybe about next year, or maybe get in on a little other league that they've got going out right now to try out some new people. But HD, I digress. So we talked a little bit about the race and new cars and new people and all that. I guess it's down to the nitty gritty. Who you taking tonight, buddy?
Coming in tonight, I can't not go with Jose 720 and that new number 95 Levine family racing machine out there on the track. And, honestly, if he wasn't driving that car, I probably still would go with him because Jose is one of the best plate racers out there in the game. I almost can guarantee he's going to be on the pole position. If he's not on the pole position, he'll definitely be on the front row starting P2 on the outside of probably CJ Max Rose. Dark horse pick, I got to go with Carroll, man. Carroll's kind of made the transition to iRacing. He's been doing a whole lot of iRacing lately, and he's really been improving on that side of things. He's got himself a couple wins. I think he can come here tonight at a track like Daytona with the improvement in his skills he has made over the last couple weeks and pick up his first NNR Cup win.
Not only improving in the skills, but improving in the equipment as well. All the guys that were drafted by the Pro League were all sent brand new Fanatec wheels, top of the line equipment. So these guys, when they choose them, they're not only writing down a name on a piece of paper for somebody they want to represent their team in NASCAR Heat Esports, but they're shelling out some pretty decent bucks as well to make sure that these guys are equipped and capable of handling any kind of scenario that may come their way on the track. Bot Plays is out there saying that Amore is his dark horse. Not quite sure who your primary is if he's your dark horse, Bot, but all right. As far as my picks, I'm going to go with a couple of guys that got to come from the back in points and are going to really have to try to get it done. I'm going to go with the 21 of JCX12 and the 3 car. That's right. I said the 3 of James Kamal, no longer in that 95. He handed that over to Jose 720 after his selection in the Pro League draft. So we'll have to see how they all shake out. I'm getting ready to I'm really ready for this race, HD. After what we saw in the Truck and Xfinity race earlier this week, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think they're gonna get really racy.
I want to hit on something real quick before we kind of get to talk about that. But the guys looking to join, Pete, aren't they doing like fun runs on certain nights of the week to where actually members of the community can actually come out and run with these guys out on the track?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. On Saturday nights, Monday nights, and Wednesday nights, they do a fun run race for each of the series. On Saturday night, they have the fun run for the trucks, and it's always the track that they're running that week. So this Saturday night, it's at either 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. The truck guys will be on the track at Darlington. Old Lady in Black track, Too Tough to Tame, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, they run, I believe it's like a couple of 25 percenters or 150 percenter to really get their feet wet, get their groove in for the upcoming race. And the same thing on Monday night for the Xfinity guys, and last night we ran ours for the Cup series. And again, we had 25 cars on track, just the same amount that's going to be on track tonight. It was a lot of fun, and a lot of highline momentum was being carried by all. So it's going to be interesting. They are done qualifying. We're going to get a shot at who's got that pole here in just a little bit. HD, any last thoughts there, buddy?
No, man. I'm just ready to get out here on the track here at Daytona, super speedway racing. You know as well as I do, Pete, this race can be either really, really exciting, a lot of two wide action, a lot of high line action, a lot of people out there trying to get the momentum up off the high side, like you just mentioned, or it can be kind of a bit of a single file, 30 cars deep kind of race. Hopefully, it's the first one.
I'm right there with you. And from what I heard, it's going to be uh, the latter, or the first one. I think we're going to see a lot of the guys that are locked into the chase that have no worry at all going into Darlington next week and beyond. That they're going to get up, they're going to get on that high line, they're going to get to pushing, and man, if they can repeat what they did at Talladega earlier this year, we're in for one hell of a treat, HD.
Yeah, something to mention about Talladega and Daytona. We know there's a big width difference as well. They can fairly easily go too wide at Talladega. When you come to a place like Daytona, especially off of turn 4, it kind of narrows out there just a bit when the cars wash up the track, especially at a turn 4. That's when it's going to get a little sketchy. I think that bump is still there on the low side, but nonetheless, 25 of the best preset drivers on the Xbox side, hands down, out here on the track. I think we can see a lot of fireworks.
Yeah, and I tell you what, right now your sister's out there saying Rowdy is my pick for the win. I don't think her pick ever wavers. One quick word about Rowdy, though, he's actually running a very special paint scheme authorized by the one and only Rock NASCAR. Rock, good to see you out there as well. I'm excited to see that 13 under the lights. Rowdy said it's a very nice piece. He's happy with it. Um, We'll have to wait and see if there's any kind of instability in the lobby. That was definitely an issue last night, as well as a little bit on Tuesday and Sunday. Some people are just chalking it up to the close quarters connection here on the Xbox, kind of like what you'd find what is it called, netcode on iRacing. So we'll have to see if it's anything like that, but there's nothing going to hold these guys back tonight.
Nah, I'm getting the invites right now. I think they're still loading in. I actually didn't really accepted it. They said about 20 seconds left. So, Pete, I think we give it 10 more seconds, load into this bad boy, and call it his 80 lap shootout.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Looks like according to Carol's our Boehner stream, which is one of the ones I'll have up tonight, looks like the lobby is paused. So we'll have to see. I want to make sure that it is on the track. It's every now and then when I've gone to his feed, it's like for a race before. So yeah, it's actually saying Daytona lobby's paused. I haven't gotten an invite yet, but Coey's probably giving that last minute pep talk, reminding them where they got to pit off of. Watch the yellow line. Don't go below. No passing before the start finish line. I mean, all kinds of extra little tidbits here and there. But Coey calls he's got a pretty good handle on this community. He's got a lot of really, really great drivers in NNR. I'm happy to be here. And like I've told other people, man, I would not want to be anywhere else.
Yes, I think they're possibly still in the pause menu. I think they are giving that last minute pep talk to the guys out there in track. Let's talk about a little bit the rules tonight, Pete. Not
Okay.
mistaken, they got to come off a pit road on the apron of turns 1 and 2. If they are caught coming up at a turn 1, into turn 1, up on the racing track, we'll say, that's actually a 3-point penalty. And if they end up winning the race like that, they're dropping back to P2. Second place is winning, and you still get the 3-point penalty.
Yep, I saw that message earlier, and it looks like the timer is up and running. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I have not got an invite yet. If
I
you're
got it.
in, can you please? Thank you very much. Oh, there's one from JPA. All right, so that's all you JPA Army members out there. I tell you what, JPA was in that fun run that we just talked about a little bit ago. He was there last night, and he said, Pete, I will see you in the booth tomorrow night. So he was calling his spot. JCX12 said the same thing, and that 21, after early departure last week. He said he will not have that problem this week. Looking forward to seeing what that 21 and the 95 can do. You've got the 43, I believe you said, and the 42 of CGMX Rose. Yeah, man, it's about to kick this off here under the lights.
Yeah, I'm loaded in right now to Daytona International Speedway for the Coke Zero Sugar 200 at Daytona. Looking out on the track right now. Cars are getting ready. The grid, it's going to be a lot of fireworks. Pete, you ready to take us green?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to take us green, find out who won that coveted Daytona pole, and we'll go through the field here a little bit. Again,
And
25 cars on
that
track.
being said, let's go through it 10 at a time, man. And
How
on that
that?
pole position actually is Jose 720. My pick to win the race and to get the pole. Look at that. Not surprised at all. On the outside of him in row 1, we got the Aviator in the 48 car starting P3. We got the 42 of CGMX Rose. On the outside of him in row number 2, we got the 88 of JRM Dohar. Row number 3, we got the 13 of Rowdy rounding out your top 5. On the outside of Rowdy is that new look for more smoke in the 18. Starting P7 is going to be the 00 of Augustus. P8 is going to be Stout Whiskey. P9 is going to be Finesse on the outside. Top 10, the 4 Natty Dread.
Yeah, after the 4 Natty Dread, we've got the 40 car of Outlaw, followed by the 22 of Old J-Pa. Then we got the 36 of Boehner, your last week's winner, first ever win there in the Cup Series. And then the 35 of Dan the Lawn Man with the 17 of Sully to his inside. There's a 1 of God Power, 24 of our fearless leader, Coey. The 8 of Smitty, the 11 of Ingalls, your highest running member without a win, but highest in points. The 12 of Knights, the 37 of Old Pro Viper, the 9 of Carroll, your dark horse, with the 6 of Heated Snowman, the 3 of James Kamal, and we're back up front with the 95 of Jose and the 48 of the Aviator to the outside. Coming through 3 and 4, we're going to be setting them loose. Look at them under the lights. It's going to be a rough and tumbly race. I'm ready for it all.
As Jose's approaching that Geico restart box. Green flags in the air here at Daytona International Speedway at the line. Jose 720 is going to take him down to turn 1.
Yep, Jose's going to take him down to turn 1, still double file. Nobody can pass until after the start-finish line. There they go, into 1 and 2, side by side. Nobody merging all the way down to the bottom yet. You still got the 18 of More Smoke to the outside with the 13 of Rowdy. They're going to try to keep it racy, they said. We'll have to see if they stay true to their word. 25 deep. Here we go, down the backstretch.
Well, here comes the 88 of JRM Dohar with the 18 of More Smoke, pushing them on the outside as they come down the backstretch into turn 3. Dohar's going to dive down in front of the 48 of the Aviator. Look at this, a 13 of Rowdy looking to make it 3 wide up off of turn 4.
Yeah, it looks like the 88 was able to clear the 48. Behind the 48, you got the 42 of CGMX Rose. Behind Rose, you got the 95 of Jose. So 3 drivers that were chosen for the Pro League. Obviously, Dohar was retained from last year, but all on brand new equipment. And so far, it looks like it's serving them pretty well.
Yeah, as we go towards the back of the pack, Rowdy slapped the outside wall. He's going to drop well outside the top 20. There goes that Tua Stout Whiskey on the outside, side drafting down the backstretch with the 18 of a More Smoke in tow.
Yeah, 18 of More Smoke, giving him a big shove all the way around. There's the 4 of Old Natty Dread, also up on that high side. Going to try to give them a little bit of a shove, but he found that gap down on the low side. He's going to dip on down. So right now it's just a 2 and the 18 outside. 18 found a hole in front of the 4. The lone survivor to that outside is the just that 2 car of Stout Whiskey. But Stout said he was gonna try to run that high line, get it really moving up there. He did not want to run single file. Looks like more and more cars are gonna try to move up there with him. Back down that backstretch again.
Yeah, down the backstretch of 42 of CGMX Rose. Actually looking on the outsides, we got a battle for P2. He's side by side with the 48 Aviator coming down in a turn 3. No friends behind him. He's in a no man's zone. Here comes a train of cars about 5 car lengths back off of turn 4 on the high side.
Yep. Well, again, coming back down that backstretch, looks like the 48 of the Aviator ducked to the outside of the 88 of Dohar, but that hole is going to get filled. Now there is an even longer train on the outside. Have to see if they can get the draft off that 48 and pull themselves up. They're led by none other than the 42 of CGMX Rose. He's got a fast car. Again, some brand new equipment. I think they can get this done. And you know what? We talked about getting it done in HD. I got to mention a quick tweet earlier. If you follow No Name Racing, No Name _Racing on Twitter, we sent out a message earlier. If you pick the eventual winner of the race, Spurl, one of the guys that races in the Xfinity series, he offered up a pre-selected item that he's going to buy someone off of Zazzle if you can pick the eventual winner of the race before the end of stage 2. So if you were to tell HD or I right now, Pete, at the end of this, or HD at the end of this, my man, the 40 of Outlaw, he's gonna end up in victory lane. He's gonna get his first win of the season. That's my pick. If he does win, Spurl's gonna go ahead and head on over to Zazzle, which is on the bottom of the homepage for NNRLeague.com, and he's going to send you a nice little trinket, just a kind of a thank you for following, making NNR one of your favorites. That's pretty cool of the guy. He just announced that last night.
That definitely is pretty cool. If I'm out there in chat, I might say something. I'm still trying to get my NNR hoodie from Coey, but getting back to the race in action, we are single filed out all the way to the back of the pack. We got 2 cars back there trying to work it. It looked like the 11 of Ingles had some help. Now they got more cars running about 15th place side by side, trying to make up some ground, but just not enough people yet migrating to that top side.
Yeah, see the Ingles move to the outside. The 3 of Kamal was out there. The 00 of Augustus was out there. You know, they're trying to get it done. They're trying to stick to the outside, not just. I'm sorry, it was the 00 of yeah, it was the 00 of Augustus, not Dan DeLawman. But they're trying to get that rolling. They don't want to just ride around, and I can't blame them. They got to get it going, got to get it racy, make some moves, keep it entertaining, not only for them out there, but also for us up here and for everybody else that's watching. Speaking of watching, Killer Nacho, thank you very much for the follow. Please, by all means, make sure you head on up and smash that notifications button or subscribe, and you'll never miss a lap here with NNR.
Yeah, still though, and actually the one of God Power peeking out of line. He's running in about 11th place, but he's got no friends at all at the moment. He's going to lose a ton of ground because the 48 Aviator are going to sneak up under him. But to the action in the top 5, they are still running nose to tail as they've run. The 88 of JRM Dohar, 95 of Jose, 720, 18 of Amore Smoke. New look for him, the 40 of Outlaw. Rounding out that top 5, J. Paul Army's going to be happy because that's the 22 of J. Paul.
Yeah, just as you say that, Q-Dog checks in. That's exactly what it said. J-Paw Army checking. Yeah, no doubt. It's and you know, at the end of the fun run last night, J-Paw actually told me, Pete, I will see you in the booth tomorrow. He didn't say whether it was for a 3rd place, 2nd place, or 1st place, but everybody's goal is to win here in NNR, the best default or preset league on Xbox, hands down. Great awareness, great skill. I mean, we've got 25 of the best on Xbox right here.
Oh, without a doubt, man. And I say it all the time, man. And even then, you look to the lower series of NNR, which you call, the truck series, the Xfinity series. I mean, there is really quality guys in those series as well. And some of those guys I expect to see sooner or later up here in the Cup series.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a few that have already been called up. Augustus has been a long time NNR member. He's up here this year. Painter made a very, very quick impression on these guys. Sully made a big impression. Mountain made a big impression. So there's several people that are up in Cup, and I expect more like Asbel maybe to be pulled into Cup next year and race among the best. So we'll have to see. Looks like somebody got loose there going through the trioval.
Yeah, it looked like that was a 34 of finesse. He's able to get it back up on the track. The only problem is he is well outside of the draft zone. And actually, look up here, coming into turn 3 as they file down the backstretch. It looked like that might have been the 9 of Carroll. So that's how much draft has an effect here at Daytona International Speedway. If you're all by yourself, give it about 7 laps. You're going to be getting lapped as they come out of turn 4. Carroll's up there at the start-finish line.
Yeah, Carroll up. It looks like 22 of J-Pod, 42 of CGMX Rose, and others are pulling down off pit road. First round of green flag pit stops are underway. This whole thing has been green so far. I'm going to go ahead and actually pull up the stream of Boehner and Carroll and kind of get us a lap count. Looks like last time around, I think that said 13 to go, which sounds about right. Yeah, 12. That's actually 12 at the line. So it sounds like they're kind of splitting the stage right in half. But you got two very distinct packs right now. And the first pack is actually led by the 88 of Dohar, someone who is notoriously known for saving gas. Where he's at right now, HD, there is no saving gas. It's all throttle. The guys behind you, though, they're able to save do quite a bit of checking up, still keep up the speed that they were running. Another attempt at this high line run, though, coming up for the pack, led by the double O.
And a 00 of the Gooses with the 48 of the Aviator, the 1 of God Power, and the 3 of James Kamal trying to push him up on the high side. It looks like he's got more help right behind him with the 8 car. Smitty, the 2 of Stout Whiskey on the low side, followed by the 1 of God Power. This might be more of a, hey, we're going to pit next lap while these guys are pitting this time. We don't want to be in their ways. They come across the pit lane this time by. No one went down.
Now, a few in the back, I see Ingalls and a couple others working their way down, but none of the immediate leaders. But the people that went in and took their green flag pit stop last time are just now working their way off pit road, as you said, all the way around the apron through turns 1 and 2, merge off of 2, back onto the backstretch. And there's actually quite a bit of separation between those cars. I'm guessing they weren't in direct communication with each other. There's quite a bit of separation.
Yeah, and you look at the cars right in front of JRM Dohar. 2 of them are actually going to be the 42 of CGMX Rose, and it looks like the 22 of J. Paul. They are by themselves. They've pitted about 2 laps ago. They went with the short strategy, but ultimately this is not going to work out for them. Yeah, you want to pit, you want to get into pit road nice and clean, but if you don't come out with people, you are going to lose a ton of time, and a ton of time they are losing as they come through turns 1 and 2 up off the backstretch.
Oh, that might actually give it a little bit of a chance right there. The 95 and the 88 got separated just a little bit. And the 22, those guys, yeah, they pit, but at least they're not completely by themselves. They have a little bit of a draft. I don't think the 88 and all of them will be able to catch them before they've got a pit. They're going to have to come down. They're going to have to get gas. In fact, I would imagine, yep, here comes some of the guys in the back peeling off right now, trying to get that load up to 55 miles per hour so they don't get any kind of a speeding penalty. Would be even worse than losing the draft here. There's an incredible amount of time can be lost here on pit road.
Yeah, the 88 JRM Dohar is looking on the outside. He's going to put this 42 and a 22 a lap down as they come down the backstretch. You know these guys are probably going to come down this time by, but there's a ton of lap traffic, and the 40 of Outlaw is going to get cut off. He is not going to be able to get to the low line as Dohar is bouncing to the outside yet again. I don't know what's going to happen if these guys are coming this time by or not. There goes Dohar cutting the nose off of the 24 Coey.
Yeah, that was very, very close. That could have been really bad. The guys that they just caught a lap down, one of them or 2 of them, they didn't come up off the bottom. Guess Dohar might have said, just stay there. I'll pull around the outside. But when you are planning on pitting, that very bottom line is extremely important. You want that clean entry into pit road. You want the people that are around you say, hey, you go high, I'll go low, so we don't collide as we get towards the entrance to pit road, which funnels all the cars in very, very quickly. So we'll have to see how they come out. It looks like so far the 95, the 00, the 88.
Oh, 95 gets spun around coming up off of pit road there for a minute. The 00 of Augustus is going to slide in front of him. Luckily, the 95 of Jose 720 was able to save that.
Yeah, he was really struggling getting up through the gears on the apron, but that allowed the guys in front of him to really pull away. I'll grab us a lap count here. Looks like we've got 8 laps to go. Our leader right now is actually the 40 of Outlaw. He's on pit road, watching from the 36 of Boehner right now with the 34 of Finesse right in front of him. That's actually what you're watching here on camera with the Aviator very, very close in tow. We'll have to see who's the leader once we come back around. Getting quite a bit spread out. 40 of Outlaws making his way off pit road. And it looks like somebody just overtook him. So see if I can work my way up there.
I think it's either 4 Natty Dread.
Yeah, I think it's either the 4 Natty Dread or on the stream it's showing to be a custom, so it's not a more.
It's not the 4 then.
Nope, it's not the 4. Let's see. It's a man. Not quite sure. It's going to be in this pack. I almost wonder if it might be the 24 of Coe. The only car that's a custom in this whole pack.
There's a few of them. I mean, it could be the 36 of Boehner.
Yeah, it could be.
What does Boehner show in his P? What position is he?
Boehner right now is showing in 17th. Finesse is in 16th, so it's not him. Maybe it's the maybe the 00 of Augustus. The leader right now is coming across start-finish line, so it's either going to be the 00 or it's going to be the 24. Those are the only 2 custom cars in that pack. So I'm going to try. None of those guys are carrying an onboard, so I can't flip over to them. But either way, this is your race for the lead right now. We'll kind of keep it right here with about 5 laps to go. 22. We know that he was lapped, and I don't think he had enough help to really make his way back around before Dohar and all them were able to come off of pit road. He's still got a pretty good pack behind him. I think it's going to be the 00.
Yeah, I mean 00 is going across the line right now, but his stream's delayed, so it's kind of hard to tell who is. But yeah, it's either the 00 of Augustus or the 24 of Coe. Probably need to talk to these guys about these custom numbers. Yeah, it's cool, but it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah. Usually in the Cup Series, it's easier to tell. I think it's just the circumstances that we're under right now, where the leader just happens to be up there. But most of the cars on track for the Cup Series are, legit. Oh, you know what? The 17 of Sully is also a custom in this pack as well. He's looking underneath the 00.
Yeah, we actually got the 00 of Augustus on the outside, so I think the 17 of Sully is actually your race leader more than likely. 00 of Augustus with the 88 of JRM Dohar, the 3 of James. Come on, here comes that 24 of Coe up on the inside. They get single filed out back through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, back through turns 1 and 2. Still the 22 trying to be that first car 1 lap down, so he will get that free pass when they come around for the last lap to end stage 1, which is in 3 laps from what Mainstream says. But I don't. No, he's not a lap down. He's running in 16th with Finesse in 15th, and the Ader back there in 17th. But right now, this is still your battle for the lead. Is it the 17? Is it the 35? Is it the 24? Is it the 00? Okay, something just happened, and they're saying the 22 is your leader. So I'm guessing whoever didn't pit before, they just did. because now it's saying J-Paw is your leader. I'm glad we're right here on him.
All right, well, there we go. So J. Paul is your race leader. Once they go by the line, this time by, if I'm not mistaken, it should be white flag in stage number 1. We got the 18 of them or smoke running P2, Sully in that 17, running P3 right behind Sully. It looks to be that 35 of Dan, the lawman, and the 42 of CGMX Rose. I'm pretty sure he's a lap down more than likely, but again, I don't think he is. I'm not sure actually. It's kind of hard.
Nope, I don't think so. And here is this last here in stage 1. J-Pod trying to max out on stage 1 bonus points. If he can complete this with keeping a more smoke in that brand new ride behind him, he will gain 10 bonus points. Here comes the 18 of a more smoke to the outside, but the 22 has the 6 of heated snowman to try to keep right with. J-Pod just needs to keep it down, keep the 17 of Sully behind him. J-Pod touched that apron just a little bit, bounced up. He's in that second groove. They're 3 wide behind him for the stage win.
Yeah, they're 3 wide at the line. It's a 22 of J. Paul for stage number 1.
Man. Well, yeah, there we go. That's the way you get it done. Ride until it counts and then knock it out of the park. So congratulations, J-Paw, on your stage 1 victory. Very, very close battle. Everybody behind Rock NASCAR out there in chat with a big old wow. I couldn't agree with you more. All right, so we're going to take a quick break here, guys. Come give NNR a follow.
Hey NNR fans, don't miss any of the action by following or subscribing to Repeat's Twitch channel. Turn on notifications and you'll always know when the best preset league on Xbox hits the track. Check out his YouTube channel too to see all of NNR's past races. Follow No Name Racing as well as Repeat 1975 and others on Twitter, and you'll never miss any of the action.
All right, as you can see, we're racked and stacked back up under the Daytona lights, as I love to say. Let's go ahead and bring it back up towards the front here. That might, I don't know if that pass or that merger was before the start-finish line or not. They'll have to look at that at a later time. But right now, it's a 17 of Sully up front. I see the 22 and J-Pon now falling back, maybe trying a little bit of fuel strategy. If that's what he did in the last stage, it absolutely worked for him. But here we go, stage 2.
Yeah, the 17 of Sully down the backstretch. 18 of Amore Smoke is in tow, but the top 10 is all single filed out. You got the 22 of J. Paul actually on the high side, but he had lost a ton of ground. He's going to file in right there around 14th of 15th place. Battles towards the back of the pack for about last place, but everybody else is staying single file.
Yeah, all single file here to start stage 2. Just like they did in stage, kind of ride it out for now. Get a little racy, get these green flag pit stops in, which everybody will have to make at least one during this stage. So far, so good. All green, all clean. Might have saw one little mishap on the track earlier, but because it was a single car issue and was for the most part off the racing surface, the caution did not fly. I think that was just the 37 of Pro Viper earlier. But right now, 17, 18, 35, and the 42, your top 4, all getting tracked down by the 88 of Dohar and the 1 of God Power. You know, guys can push.
Yeah, there's kind of running in a line right now. I mean, the 18 of More Smoke actually got up under the 17 of Sully right there, who washed up the track just a bit entering turn 1. So a move of More Smoke up the P1, 35 of Dan the Lawman at the P2, and the 42 of CGMX Rose, rounding out your top 3.
Yeah, Yuna the Drifter, thank you very much for the follow. And while we got all y'all out there in chat, guys, please, by all means, shout out who you think is going to win the race. NNR's own Spurl will send you a little bit of a trinket off the NNR League.com webpage. If you go to the homepage, go all the way down to the tab on the bottom that says Zazzle. There's a whole catalog right there. Everything from hoodies to wall clocks, pillows, stickers, mouse pads. Keychains, all kinds of stuff. Go on over, take a look. One of those items could be headed your way if you're able to pick the eventual winner of this race. And yeah, again, that's compliments of NNR's own Spurl. He offered that up last night, so please go on in there, shout it out, say HD. I think J-Paw's going to win, as we just saw Q-Dog say, or more smoke, he's going to get his first win in this new 18 ride. Let know who you got. We'll go back through a little bit later on. Hopefully Spurl checks in, and we can get the item out to you. I don't know what he's picked. He hasn't even told me. He said it's going to be a complete surprise. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, we had, a little contact right there between the 24 of Coey and the 1 of God Power. Coey making his return to the NNR Racing League, the league owner of NNR. Little contact between those two, but no harm, no foul. Coey able to slide back in line. Coey's been peeking out a couple times on the outside. Here he is yet again. The 3 of James Kamal thought about going with him, thinking about it again, but and Coey again getting to the side of the 1 of God Power. He's going to lose a ton of spots.
Yeah, Coey's looks like he was able to work his way right in between the 2 of Stout Whiskey and the 34 of Stay Finessed. Una the Drifter, I put the link out there in chat. Please, by all means, feel free. There's a lot out there. Now again, the item that could be sent to you is not what you choose. This is something that was already pre-selected by Spurl. And then when you get into the chase, there's going to be a whole new thing going on between the 13 of Rowdy and all of our viewers and followers. But please, first things first, go to @noname_racing on Twitter and give us a follow there. We will follow you back. There's going to be more to come, more things to give away, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, as the racing out here is still single file action. And again, we've had a couple people kind of peek to the outside, but no one is just going with it. It's all kind of, you peaked. Yeah, see you later, +1 for me. As they come around turns 3 and 4, still your race leader is going to be the 18 of More Smoke.
Yeah, when he rooted the 17 of Sully, Sully fell very, very far back. I mean, he's all the way back in the clutches of the 34 of Finesse right now. And it looks like a few more people are going to try that high line. I see the 4 out there now. I see the 35 of Dan the Lawman, but the 4 thought better of it. Actually found a hole, ducked on in, and ended up hitting that apron. Bounced right back up again. Good thing there was nobody to the outside.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just the 35 of Daniel Lawman looking to make a pass, but I think he's trying to drop to the back, probably trying to save some types of fuel for a fuel strategy move here in stage 2 as they come out of turn 4 down the front stretch. 35 Daniel Lawman still on the outside. There was a hole right there. He didn't quite get down, so I think he's just trying to drift back towards the back.
Yeah, he's falling further and further back. It definitely could be some kind of a strategy. We saw a little bit of that in the races earlier this week. Right now we've got 14 laps to go. I am seeing a little bit of instability between Finesse and Boehner. Boehner's up into the wall off of the hood of somebody after he kind of touched the wall just a little bit, but he's back there with friends. He's got Dan the Lawman, which is a teammate of Stout Whiskey, but they all kind of work together just a little bit. Up front, though, as you said, no change. Still the 18 of More Smoke, and first round of green flag pit stops are underway.
He had a 42 of CGMX Rose, who was running P2 at the time, leading the pack down. 11 of Ingles, 22 J-Paul, and a 2 of Stout Whiskey, all coming down with him while the rest of the guys still out here. Moved the 88 of JRM Dohar out the P2, but on the outside of him, trying to pull some side dress is going to be the 1 of God Power. Right behind God Power, making it 3 wide is going to be James Kamal.
That's right. The three Kamal in his brand new number, trying to take the lead from the 18 of More Smoke's got a good pusher in his good old buddy, the 12 of Knights. Behind them was a 24 Okoe. So all of Dirty Air Motorsports was nose to tail for just a second, but a little bit of wall contact there made them separate. And it looks like through all that, the 18 was able to keep that lead.
As they come off a turn 2 down a backstretch, the 40 of Outlaw got moved up to P3. 00 with Goosis and the 1 of God Power going to round out your top 5. The 2 of Stout Whiskey might have got caught speeding down pit road because he got put a lap down and well behind the other guys he pitted with. So tough break for him. So moves Stout Whiskey -1 lap on the board as we come out of turn 4.
You know what? As much as Stout was willing to put it all on the line this time, I don't think he's going to mind it so much here at Daytona. We're still in the middle of stage 2. We got that break coming. If he can stay on the lead lap, he'll get that back. He'll get back in the draft, get back up and moving. I don't think it's going to be too much of a handicap for the 2. He's another one with some pretty great equipment. And he's strong every week. He's so far up in points, he doesn't have to worry about this race or next week at all. He knows what he's got. He's ready for Kansas, locked and loaded. Stout is definitely one that's ready for the chase to begin. Una, this is actually a mix. There are quite a few in here that run wheels. There's also some in here that run on controller. So it's a complete mix, just like Mama just said.
As still your race leader, the 18 of a more smoke, still leading this thing, coming through turns 1 and 2 to 24. Coey gonna go a lap down, but coming down the backstretch, Pete, there is a gaggle of cars too wide as they go down into turn 3. 18's gonna lag spike the 88 as he goes to the outside, 3 wide, coming through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, they were 3. They are still pushing those buttons. The 40 of Outlaw was all over the place with, I'm not sure who that was to his outside, but I'm glad to see that worked out because that could have been really bad. They were bending off each other. The car to the outside was bouncing off the wall, coming back down into the 40 again. Man, that was kind of chaotic. If that had brought out the caution, that would have definitely put some people at least 1 lap down.
Yeah, and the 88 of Dohar actually is going to get trapped on the outside in front of a bunch of cars. If he's trying to pit this time by, there's just no hole for him to sneak down. He's got the 00 of Augustus right behind him as they come through turns 3 and 4. Still your race leader is going to be the 18 of a more smoke coming up off of it. He's not going to come down this time by. People expect the 18, the 88, the 00, and everybody else in this pack to come down pit road for their final service in stage 2.
Yeah, I would imagine it's quite a decent sized pack. Right now I'm on the 12 car of Knights. So you've got the 18 up front, 35 of Dan the Lawman, which by the way, he'll be a guest here in the booth for either a truck or an Xfinity race in the very near future. He just moved into a brand new house, got everything wired up. He was really excited about that. But moved Knights, I believe, up to P3. I don't think he's pitted yet. I don't think he's a lap down. If they can end it the way it is, it'll be a great points night for Knights, and he needs as many points as he can get. He's trying to work his way in over the next couple of weeks. Move him up, I believe, to P2. We'll have to check the track map on one of these guys and find out who's where, and it'll also get us a lap count. Right now, it's saying the 1 car of God Power is the leader. So Knights is actually, I believe, on tail end of the lead right now.
Yeah, 1 car, and there's a wreck down the backstretch. 40 of Outlaw gets involved with somebody. He's down on the infield, but the caution is not going to come out. Tough break for him. I think the 1 of Godpower and the 88 of JRM Dohar is going to come down pit road this time, coming up off of turn 4. They're staying out for at least 1 more. They are really stretching the field out.
Yeah, they've got to be. With the map that the menu that Boehner's got up right now, he's weighing it back. He's lost the draft, but they're quite a ways away. He's in like 20. He's 21st out of 25 right now. I can tell you that the 18 of Amore Smoke, after that pit stop, he's going to be glad that Boehner just came up behind him. Amore Smoke right now is sitting P5, and the one of God Power is not too far off. God Power is right there. He's got a bunch of people right in
Here they
front of
come.
him. Here he comes. Okay, so we'll have to see if this hands the lead back over to the 18 of Amore Smoke, or who it cycles through. 7 laps to go, HD.
Yeah, 7 laps to go in stage number 2. The leader, the one of God Power in the 88 of JRM Dohar, coming down pit road for their final stop here in stage 2. Caution free so far. Once this cycles through, Pete, it's going to be interesting to see who comes out the race leader.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of keep it moving. I'm gonna go ahead and try to find the 18 of I can't get used to it yet. The 18 of Amore Smoke, and see if it all cycles back through to him. See what kind of a pit stop he was able to grab. Again, guys, you got 5 more laps, give or take, to be able to submit who you think is going to be the eventual winner in order to win just a little bit of a prize from the one and only Spurl.
Oh, contact coming off a pit road. One of God Power puts JRM Dohar in the dirt. He goes by. I think the 11 of Ingalls is going to be a race leader as the pack zooms by these two.
Yep, keep an eye on things, that's for sure. I see Ingalls up there with the 42 of CGMX Rose, with the 22 right behind. 22 won stage 1. Is he in position right now to grab stage 2 as well, or try? I see the 3 of Kamal right there as well. He's clawing for points, and I believe as they came by the line that time, it's going to be 5 laps to go. So you have 5 more laps to pick who is going to be the eventual winner of this race. Voting closes once they take that green and white checker.
As they come up off of turn 40, 11 of Ingalls is your race leader. 42 of Amore Smoke. 42 of CGMX Rose, actually, running in P2, and a 22 of J. Paul, who won stage 1. We saw him go 3 wide, but the 3 of James Kamal looking on the outside. He has no friends, not able to sneak in the hole.
Nope, not able to get there. That's going to push Kamal all the way to the back. He's still going to be in the top 10, so he'll still get some bonus points. Drifter, I believe J-Paw was already picked by Q-Dog earlier in the race. Please pick another. I see God Power is also now picked by Ferret Man. So we'll go through the chat a little bit later on and find out who's gonna win it all. First person to pick, that's the one that's gonna win. But the 11 diving and trying to block this bottom line with the outside, really moving right now with the 42 of Amore Smoke out there. He's going to lose a little bit of momentum because Double O hit the wall.
Yeah, the 18 of Amore Smoke up on the high side. The 42 of CGMX Rose looking to make it 3 wide for a minute. Wasn't able to get it done. The 18 was there. He had a train of cars behind him, but the 00 of Augustus slapped the outside wall, and the momentum was all done with 3 laps to go in stage number 2.
Good pick, Drifter. You cannot go wrong with Amore Smoke. 3 laps to go. That's 1 vote in. Mama Bears, she's got the ever impressive Rowdy. No surprise there at all. Let's see. Right now it looks like the 95 of Jose 720. He is about 3rd or 4th. I'm not sure if any of these cars up here in the top 4 are 1 lap down. I don't believe so. I see the 3 of James Kamal right in front of this 95. The 2 that recently swapped rides as he comes across the line, or as Boehner comes across the line right there. 2 laps to go here, HD. Let's see if they pull a repeat of what they did that last stage, where they really started to mix it up right at the line.
Yeah, the 42 of CGMX Rose looked high coming out of turn 2 for a moment. Thought better of it, maybe. He's looking high now because the 3 of James come a huge 42 of Amore Smoke up on the corner panel. The 11 of Ingalls as they come through turns 3 and 4. 22 of J. Paul there on the inside, followed by that 95 of Jose 720. This time by white flags in the air for stage number 2.
Yeah, white flags in the air, stage number 2. A lot of movement in this top group. We'll have to see how it all shakes out. 22 of J-Paw is... What?
We were wrong.
Come
Banner was a
on.
lap down.
Boehner, you're killing me. Well, there you go. 11 of Ingles, 22 of J-Pot. So great
Finally, some
points
racing action. They're 3 wide. Look at
All
them on the
right.
line.
All right, so that closes the voting for the gift from the one and only Spurl. Spurl, thank you very much if you're out there. It's gonna be a great time. I want to say thanks again to Yuna for the follow, Killer Nacho for the follow, Silent for the sub, and Joker de Pablo. Thank you very much, all of you, for following during those first 2 stages. We're going to rack and stack them back up here for the start of Stage 3, the final stage. The 11 of Ingles on the inside, 22 of J-Pa, 42 of CGMX Rose, 95, and that's the 4, I believe, of Old Natty Dread in your top 5.
Yeah, Natty Dread, who had a good qualifying effort, qualified in the top 10. We're coming through turns 1 and 2 to 22 of J. Paul. Still got the 95 of Jose 720 right behind him, trying to give him a push down the backstretch.
Yeah, down the backstretch for the first time here in the final stage. All racy this time. I don't think they can't just say, I've got another stage. They've got to get it going. They got to be competitive. They've got to get to pushing. They got to get to the front. They got to be somewhat aggressive while keeping it green. We've seen it before. They did it earlier in the year at Talladega. I want to see it again. You want to see it again. They want to go back and watch how they did it. Here it is. Let's go.
As they come down the front stretch, there's still a good line of cars there up on the high side. Still the race leaders trying to sneak his way in down low, cutting the 12 of Knights off as they come through turns 1 and 2. It caused a chain reaction behind these guys, and they are going to stay green.
Yeah, staying green. Got a lot of guys in the back. Were able to hold on to it. The biggest loser out of that, though, was the 3 car of James Kamal. He hit that outside wall very hard, and it's actually what made that chain reaction just a little bit worse. J-Pop found a hole, wasn't 100% clear. Knights, I think, did a big favor by checking up just a little bit without getting run over by the 48 of the Aviator. So your first 5 or 6 right now are all single file. Behind these guys, they're still trying to figure it out just a little bit.
Yeah, still the race leader is going to be the 11 Wingouts. They come out of turn 2, 42. CGMX Rose running P2. Right behind him is going to be the 4 of Natty Dread. 18 of them are smoking. The 22 of J. Paul, who cut off the 12 of Knights, is going to round out that top 5. They are single filed out all the way to the very last car.
Yeah, everybody's on this bottom line. Now, HD, at the end of stage 1, they got it go. They were 3, 4 wide just for a second there. Stage 2, they started to mix it up. A couple people fell back just a little bit. Ingles was able to get it done with Jay right behind him. J-Paw won stage 2, finished second in J-Paw won stage 1. Ingles won stage 2, but J-Paw was able to finish right behind the 11. So a lot of positive points by J-Paw, who's very, very to that cutoff line. We've got one more race next week at Darlington, and you can actually now see next week's schedule on the bottom right-hand side of your screen underneath the NNR logo, as the points and NNR's information are just underneath. One more race next week at Arlington, and then we head to Kansas. That is the first race of the chase. HD, this year's chase is unlike any other that NNR has done since they rebranded. Every stage of the chase is 4 races. You've got a short track, you've got an intermediate track, you've got a speedway, and you have a road course in every stage of the chase. Nobody's going to walk into a championship this year. You might be able to afford a semi-bad race in one of those 4 races, but you can't have more than one. These guys are all going to have to dig, all going to really have to prepare as we get into the end part of the 2020 season.
Yeah, without a doubt, and that they will do, as they're still kind of single filed out here on the track. There's kind of 2 groups of cars now. Looks like about a group of 10 with the 4 car Natty Dread on the tail end of that, but leading that second pack looks to be the 88 JRM Dohar. He's got about a pack of 10 cars as well, so they've got some catching up to do.
Yeah, it's the 88s, the 40. I think that was the 35. No, take that back. 36. Then you've got looks like one old Pepto Bismol cars. I'm not quite sure what car that is right there. Oh, it's a 37 of Pro Viper. And then you got 35 of Dan the Lawman, all back there. 4 of Natty Dread. Looks like he got shuffled out just a little bit. This pack of cars is going to have to tread lightly to get around that 4 as they come around with a head of steam.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what the 4 was thinking. He's kind of running the apron on the trial, but that's very, very dangerous. He was lucky not to wash back up into the track, into the 88 of Dohar, but luckily they were able to get around him, but that's going to grow the lead from the first pack from about 7 car lengths to about 13 car lengths coming out into turn 3.
Yeah, but this pack that Dohar is leading, actually, it consists of more cars, I believe. And I think, if they all just get in, stay behind the 88, push the 40 should lock onto that 88's bumper and push him all the way around. As long as he doesn't get to the outside quarter panel or the inside, or fender rather, he should just be able to keep pushing. Papa Bear, good to see you checking in, sir. How are you?
Yeah, and getting back up to the front point, there's just nobody really moving, man. I'm going to start calling these guys out. They said they were going to make it racy, but it's not happening that way, Pete.
No, not yet. It seems like they really get it going at the end. And if they were really trying to mix it up at the end of stage 1 and stage 2, who knows what they're going to do at the end of stage 3. How far are they willing to go to get that W, to knock it out of the park? Stout Whiskey said it best during the Xfinity race. Daytona and Talladega, they are like the equalizer tracks. Somebody may not be up front all the time, but at these tracks they are. They can show that, hey, I can get a win, even if it is at just a super speedway. I deserve it. I won, especially at Daytona. A marquee race, man. These tracks have always been kind of like the underdog dream. You think about what's his guy, the guy that won in the 20 just a few short years ago for the Wood brothers. I can't think of his name right now, but you think of the little guys. They're able to get it done at these plate tracks.
Yeah, I mean, when you say like who can win this, really anybody out here in the field can win a Daytona race. I mean, we're looking at some of the guys who necessarily don't run towards the front a whole lot. They're finding these ways up here. The 11 Domingos is one of those guys who's extremely fast in the races, like early on, but he just always falls off. I don't know if it's just strategy or what, but he's currently sitting P1. It'd be great to see him get one done.
Yeah, I think Ingalls is actually P1 in standings without a win. So you've got CJ Rose, he's your overall points leader. Then you got Rowdy, you got More Smoke, you have the Aviator, you have Stout Whiskey. All those guys have at least one win on the season. And then there's Ingalls and God Power, the guys back to back who don't have a win but are locked in on points. And you got Augustus, he got a win, I believe, at Talladega earlier this year. Smitty won the Daytona 500. Boehner just won last week at Dover. So, yeah, I saw that.
I think CGMX Rose actually lagged there just a bit. Bounced the 18 of a More Smoke back into the back of the pack. That pushed a 00 of Augustus up out of the line. But look at this, Pete. That allowed the 88 of JRM Dohar to finally catch up to this front pack. This pack of 10 quickly grew to a pack of 20 as they go across the start-finish line. The 2 of Stout Whiskey looking to the outside, but he's got no friends.
No friends. And I know Stout wants to get it going. He promised me during the Xfinity race, mentioned it, I believe, on Twitter, he was going to get it going. But I tell you what, you talk about people, and I'm not saying this, in any kind of a negative light. You look at the 12 car of Knights, a guy that really, really tries very hard every week. Part of Dirty Air. We've seen a resurgence out of the 3. We've seen Coey get really fast after a little bit of help from the one and only HD Motorsports. But right now, Knights is running there in P4. This could be a great night for Knights maybe give him that little bump in the arm that he needs as we get towards Darlington. Uh, the lady in black, we've seen some not so big names win there as well. Who knows? Maybe we'll see something like that again. But look at this high line coming by Stout.
Yeah, Stout Whiskey finally working his way up towards the top 5 with the high line, but I think CGMX Rose is having a lot of lag issues. Like he lag punched the 18 of Amore Smoke yet again, coming down the front stretch into turn 1. So Amore Smoke said enough of that. He's going to go to the high side as they come through turns 3 and 4. Up off of turn 4, Amore Smoke battling in the outside of the 48 of the Aviator for P4.
Yep, mixing it up just a little bit. I think the 42 is really struggling right now, and the 22 of J-Pod cannot get and stay his back bumper. Just every now and then he's getting a little bit of a donkey kick to that front grill, and it's just kind of throwing the pack off just a little bit. That top side is definitely falling back just a little bit, but that bottom line they cannot get solid and single file because of those little spikes. But those spikes are something that we've seen all week.
Down on the apron, cars around through turns 3 and 4. He's flipping through the turn. I think the first caution of the night is out.
Yeah, that's going to bring out the first caution. Absolutely. Guys, we still got a car that we want to give away. HC, we need to do this. Let's start showing them that again.
All right, I had to go tell Stout Whiskey. Thank you for making us somewhat interesting.
Hey, NNR fans, get your hands on this Lowe's Motor Speedway 50th anniversary diecast that's signed by track owner Bruton Smith by watching repeat
All right, but yeah, man, that was a huge
Twitch.
wreck. The 11 of Bengals
50 live
actually
viewers on
clipped the
any
apron or
stream,
something
the
like
diecast
that
will be
down into
unlocked.
turn
The
3.
winner
Wars
will
back
then be
up on the
determined by
track.
a
Took
trivia
someone
question
out. They went
selected by
through
repeat.
a
First to
tumble
answer as
through
this sweet
turns
ride
3
to
and
their
4.
collection.
And
Thanks
as I
for
was
being the
down
best
there
fans
in the
around.
Cup Boys chat with the Cup leaders of the teams, I heard Joey say 11 of Bengals EOL to the back of the pack.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Kind of watching here. Now we got the 22 of J-Paw. He called his shot last night during the fun run. He said, Pete, I will see you in HD in the booth afterwards. He's got the 42 of CGMX Rose to his outside. There is the 12 of Knights starting P3, 48 of the Aviator in P4, and the 18 of Amore Smoke in his brand new ride sitting there on the low line behind that 12. Still seeing a little bit of instability in lobby, but they've got to fight through this. These guys are the best for a reason.
Yeah, and the 36 of Boehner actually on the high side. They're 3 wide down the backstretch. Boehner, 48 of the Aviator, 2 of Stout Whiskey coming down into turn 3. The 42 of CGMX Rose on the high side with the 48 of the Aviator pushing them. What a God Power as well. The 12 of Knights up in P2.
Yeah, 12 of Knights giving that 22 a big shot. And behind him, the 18, then the 2. Looks like the 2 of Stout Whiskey found his way to the bottom with the 95 of Jose 720, the People's Champ, as you like to say, right behind him. And then you got the 88 of Dohar up top. There's the 2 of CGMX Rose, 48 of the Aviator, the 1 of God Power. Behind them is the 36 of Boehner. So they're trying to get these 2 lines moving, but they're going to need more help up top if they're going to get that done.
It's just a 4-car tandem right now, but you look at the bottom, it's well over 10 as they come through turns 3 and 4. I think the 2 of Stout Whiskey might be trying to peek up there. If he sees 1 or 2 more cars go, he might go to the high side as well, but coming across the line, 22 of J. Paul, still your race leader with laps winding down.
Yeah, let's wind down. You read my mind as they come across right there. 9 laps to go. Boehner is sitting in P11, so he is on the lead lap. Should be no issue this time. Boehner, here we go. Get it done. But right now, God Power in P8, Dohar P9, Boehner P10. The 40 of Outlaw in P11, and Coey right now sitting in P12, but up front, here's a little bit of a challenge now. Looks like the 18 of Amore Smoke's taking that wheel, and the help from the 42 of CGMX Rose is going to try to get to the front. The 12 has the 22 of J-Paw right in his windshield, 95 of Jose 720 just behind the 2 is Stout. These guys are all nose to tail now. No giving up. Less than 10, 8 to go.
Should be 7, right? Late livestock?
Nope, that was 8.
Oh. All right, yeah, but yeah, I mean, more smoke made a lot of ground. I'm getting a ton of laps from my end, without a doubt. The whole lobby is just going back and forth, dancing like a ballerina. But the 18 of more smoke finds himself sitting in P5. He got down to the low line, and that's going to lead the 42 of CGMX Rose, followed by that 48 Aviator and the one at God Power. That's the only 3 cars up there on the high side as they come out of turn 4 down the front stretch. 7 to go.
Yep, you called it. Exactly 7 to go. Oh, big wreck in the back. Car's hard into the wall.
It's the big one here tonight so far as they go down into
There's
turn
the
1.
caution.
Second caution is out for the night. When they go back, Green Pete should be around 4 laps to go. I hope they make it racy. I think they will, and I guarantee you we're going to see a bigger wreck than that one.
That's very possible. Q-Dog shouting out in chat right now. J-Paw Army, stand up. Get it going. Right now, J-Paw is in the position he needs. You know he's not pitting. He's already hit that AA. Let's get it going. He's going to have Knights to his outside, and the 2 of Stout Whiskey give J-Paw a big push. Stout is a big friend of J-Paw. Run together also in NAOR. A lot of a lot of respect between those two. We'll have to see if J-Paw is completely content in pushing that 22. But the 12 of Knights is going to have the 95 of Jose 720 right behind. He's no slouch. He's got that brand new equipment. He's ready to push. Here we go. Green flag back in the air.
Yeah, but you can't help to look on the inside line. He's got the 2 of Stout Whiskey right behind J-Paul, followed by the 18 of the more 40 of Outlaw. They've been up front all night long. The 12 of Knights is going to fall back 3 spots fairly quickly. He's now in P4 as someone's in the wall coming through turns 1 and 2, spinning around. I don't think that's going to bring the caution out as they come down the backstretch.
Nope, it's gonna stay green. The guy that was in the wall actually all the way to the back. He's actually sitting on the apron in turns 3 and 4. We'll have to see how this plays out. Right now, I'm gonna work my way up to that 22 of J-Paw. He's got that 2 right behind him. Then there's the 18 of More Smoke, the 40 of Outlaw, and the 34 of Finesse. We'll have to see. I'm on the hood view right now of the 22 as they come across the line with 3 to go here, HD.
Yeah, 3 to go as they come through turns 1 and 2. 22 of J-Paul, still your race leader. We've seen the 2 of Stout Whiskey be aggressive. He's been one of the ones who's been looking to go to the outside. I think he's starting to make his plan. He's starting to make his friends. I think the 18 of More Smoke and the 40 of Outlaw will go with them as they come through turns 3 and 4. Getting ready to take 2 to go.
Yep, 2 to go right now. Still the 22, 2, 18, 40, and the 34. Stout Whiskey, he's going to have to figure. He's good friends with More Smoke. He's also good friends with J-Paw. J-Paw wants to win. He wants to that he doesn't have to worry about points next week when they go to Darlington. He's going to be in the top 20. He wants to win, to lock himself in with a win. He's been close before here in the NNR Cup Series. He's going to come around with 1 to go. The 18 is going to look to the outside with the 40 of Outlaw. A lot of cars pulling up to the outside, going to try to get past that 22.
Yeah, and the 18 of More Smoke was able to get it done with the 40 of Outlaw in tow. So new race leader here in the new ride is going to Smoke. 40 of Outlaw moves his way at the P2, 22 of J-Paul. Round your top 3, white flags in the air this time by.
Yeah, white flag. The 2 is still there with the 37. Now a Pro Viper. If they're going to try to get this done, they're going to have to try to get that slingshot going. Coming off of the corner, like you saw the old Kevin Harvick and Mark Martin finish years ago here at Daytona. Are they going to be able to do the same thing? Right now, the first 2 are actually pulling away from P3 and 4. HD going into 3 and 4. It's your call, sir.
Here comes the 22 of J-Paul up on the high side of 2 of Stout Whiskey in tow. J-Paul is door to door with the 40 of Outlaw coming out of turn 4 down the front stretch. Gonna take the checkered flag this time by in his new ride. Back to the booth is the 18 of More Smoke.
Yeah, More Smoke. Gonna go ahead and lock it down this time, followed by the 40 of Outlaw. He'll be making, I believe, his first appearance in the booth this year. And the 22 of J-Pa will make his way to the booth as well. He called his shot last night during the front run. He's going to make up a ton of points here tonight. Congratulations to our top three, followed by Pro Viper, Ingalls, Knights with a great finish there in sixth. And yeah, then the menu's going to disappear. So we're going to work our way back to or wait on these guys to show up to the booth. And yeah, we're going to talk to these guys, HD. Talk about a pretty damn good finish.
Yeah, I think the move of the race was definitely the 18 of more smoke and the 40 of Outlaw. They kind of backed the corners up a bit, got themselves some separation between J. Paul and J. Paul's partner. The two of Stout Whiskey of More Smoke with a huge run down the backstretch was able to cut him off entering into turn 3 and got the win in his new Toyota Camry machine. So shout out to a More Smoke on his move on the outside down the backstretch with 2 to go.
You called it, man. You called it. I tell you what, first stage J-Pa, second stage Ingalls with J-Pa right behind. The final race, J-Pa finishing P3. Great finish. Q-Dog, I couldn't agree with you more. Good finish. Great race by that 22. He did his thing. So we're going to go ahead and talk to these guys. I'm going to back out. I don't want to go to Dover.
Bot Plays actually picked the More Smoke to win the race, and if I'm not mistaken, he's gonna win himself something.
Yeah, if he was the first one up there, I believe you're 100% right. Yep. Bot Plays was the first one to pick Ola Moore. So, Bot, we will be in touch. I know you know Spurl, so we're gonna get with Spurl, and Spurl's gonna have something to send your way, sir. Thank you very much for playing along. But I'm gonna close out these other streams that I had going here. The race is over. We should have more smoke in there right along with Outlaw and J-Pa. I see all three. HD, do you want to go ahead and talk to your buddy?
You go it.
You want me? All right. J-Pa!
What's up, Pete?
You called your shot last night during the fun run, buddy. You said you were going to be up here with HD and me to talk about the race. Stage 1, you locked it down. Stage 2, you came in right behind Ingalls. For the final order, you were able to come home P3. Congratulations, man. You got a lot of points coming your way heading into Darlington. Talk to us about your race and talk to us about what you're looking forward to.
Well, as far as the points, man, I think tonight kind of solidified me into the chase. So I'm a part of the 16, I think, now, even just with my good run. It's the first time I've been in the booth since the last time we were at Daytona, months ago. So it feels good to be back here. Stage 1, we just had strategy. I told the team, let's pit at a certain time. First one's on pit road in case a caution come out. Boom, we don't have to pit. We're up at the front anyway. Just was able to have that speed to pick off every one of the guys coming off of pit road. And Amore and Coey and everybody else that made that ending of stage 1, man, that was fantastic. 3 wide coming to the finish. I wasn't paying attention to the racetrack. I was looking up at the position to make sure I was still in first. And then stage 2, yeah, same strategy. Me, Ingalls, and Rose team got out there, was able to, pick them off again one by one. Got 1, 2, 3 there until I think Rose slipped up in the last corner or something, and I took his spot. But then the last stage, man, I mean, we were about to come to pit road the same lap that the caution came out. So we were going to try to be the first ones back on pit road, get back out there. I ended up I didn't know if a lot of people would take gas only 2 tires there on that caution. So I just went 2 tires. So I made sure I started up front, especially running second to Rose. He took 4. So I knew I'd be, first place starting out. And, I looked behind me and I had Penske Power behind me that whole third stage. And so that was cool to see Stout helping. And then at the end, Amore started laying back, going to get a run. I kind of laid back towards Stout, and I shouldn't have. I should have stayed in the gas, but I'm more and the 40 Outlaw and the 34 had such a heck of a run down that back stretch. I mean, there would have been nothing I could do but besides wreck them and wreck the field. So it just being able to come into the booth feels like a win anyway. So I thank you to Ingles and Rose for being awesome teammates this year, and congratulations to the 42 and the 40 for finishing 1-2 there.
Man, HD, we talk about J-Paw every week. You know, we talk about J-Paw Army. Bill's legend is out there. Q-Dog's out there. There was somebody else earlier in the chat saying they were pulling for you as well. I mean, man, it seems like your fan base, I know you got a lot going on with NAOR and all that. I know that Stout Whiskey runs with you there as well. I really believe that if it come down to the white flag, J-Paw right behind you, I have every faith that J-Paw would have stuck right with you and tried to put you to this win. But like you said, it wasn't meant to be this time. You're getting closer, man. You are getting closer. I have no doubt we'll see you in the chase just after we get done with next week's task over at Darlington. But man, congratulations. Long time coming. Any shout outs from you, buddy?
Just to all the people that tune in to watch you guys. It's fun to have this broadcast, and because this is some very, very talented people on the racetrack. And, you know, I mean, super speedways is just flat out and get what you can get. But, you know, I mean, just even next week at Darlington, the last few weeks at the different tracks, Gateway and stuff. I mean, Dover, just you can tell that the competition is there, and just finish in the top three, like I said, for myself, it feels like a win. And yeah, if I can quit making mistakes late in these races or find out some way to save gas, like at Dover last week, we might see each other more.
Well, we're going to see a whole lot of you as we get further and further and deeper into this. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
You got it. HD, you've got Outlaw.
Outlaw, it's HD. I'm actually running laps of Dover right now, and I'm torn up as a 24-8. No, but Outlaw, man, it's HD. You got a copy.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, take me through your race.
The race was pretty much like any super speedway race. I mean, I qualified decently, I think, in 11th place. So I'm pretty confident at the starting position that I had. Kind of just was planning on laying back through stages 1 and 2. Managed to work my way up into the top 5 within the first stage. At the end of the first stage, I got caught up in some lap traffic and wasn't able to pit with the leaders. So I ended up coming out by myself, dropped back down to, I don't know, 10th, 15th, something like that. But stage 2, same deal, worked my way back up into the top 5, top 10 area. And then right when we had about 2 laps to go, I clipped, I guess, a bump. I was running, I think, 3rd or 4th place. And I clipped a bump coming out of turn 2 on the bottom, and it shot me up into the wall. And somebody ran into the back of me pretty hard, caused quite a bit of damage. And then, of course, I made a mistake of speeding just a little bit on that pit stop, so I ended up getting a penalty for that. Dropped me all the way back to 19th. And then we were able to work our way back through the field again up to the top 10, top 5 area. And after that last caution and the last restart, I didn't even realize there was only like 3 or 4 laps left, and just kind of was hanging out to see what everyone was doing. And of course I couldn't talk to him more, but then I realized he was going kind of slow, and then we were getting a gap between first and second, and it took a minute for it to click. And I'm like, I see what he's trying to do. So I laid off of him a little bit. And then of course, J-Paw, and I can't remember who was behind him. I think it was Stout. They started to catch on to what we were working on. And I feel kind of bad for, I believe, 34. I think it was Finessed. He went high with us there on that last lap, and kind of gave us that extra push for Amor and myself to clear the other 2, and kind of got left hanging. But we appreciate the push, and unfortunately you got stuck out there. But I'm happy to have finished where I did, and I wish I had a little bit of extra room to try and make a move on Amor there at the end. But I'll take the P2 all day.
Gotcha. It was definitely a good race by you. Any shout outs?
Yeah, just shout out to to you guys for constantly streaming these races for us and commentating. It's always fun to come back and watch everything at the end. And shout out to all the viewers and my team, of course. I wish that JC could have raced with us tonight. Unfortunately, he's having some connection problems, so hopefully he'll get that taken care of soon, and we can have the whole team back out there. And unfortunately, Carol back got had some connection issues, but shout out to everybody on my team and everyone in the league. It was a pretty decent race tonight. I think it was only like maybe one or two cautions. Anyway, just appreciate everything that everyone does for the league and what you guys do, and we'll hopefully try and repeat something similar next week at Darlington.
Gotcha, man. Hey, good race by you, and congratulations on your P2.
Thanks, man.
And then we come to the man of the hour, the man that has embroidered chair sitting right between HD and I. More smoke. You got me, buddy.
I got a copy.
More. This is your third win of the season so far. Bit different than last year, but we're going in, catching on to that stride. You last week fell back a little bit in points. New car. Did the 18 feel any different to you, knowing that you've been in the 42 for as long as I've known you?
Yeah.
Any different, or walk us through your race, man?
It didn't really feel different. If anything, the wheel at Daytona was amazing. The difference from racing that track on a controller. So I was kind of looking forward to this track when I usually don't. I feel like I ran really strong all day. I felt like I could have had a stage win, just could never get the outside to get going, to make the move. But, that last, run, I saw Outlaw behind me and I'm like, man, I really hope he goes with me, because a lot of people haven't really went with me when I made the run earlier in the race. But I knew if I can get it coming through turn 2, I could get a really good run. But shout out to him for giving, going with me in the 34. I had to go back to the bottom there at the end, or, people would have probably got under me, and I probably would have lost the race. But I think this is my first super speedway win in this series, and it feels really good to finally get this one under my belt after I feel like I've struggled the past month or two.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, this will, like I mentioned, this will be your third win. Quite a few more points coming your way. We've got Darlington next week. One groove track, very different than Daytona. There is a little bit of there is definitely a draft there. Going after winning tonight, do you feel any kind of sense of momentum going into next week, and then starting the chase at Kansas the week after?
Oh, of course. Anytime you win in this series, I feel like you just burst with momentum. It's so hard to win, and I felt like last year I was kind of taking it for granted, because this year I haven't, notched as many wins as I did last year. So it feels good to be back in victory lane for once. And even in the booth, I haven't even been in the booth in a while, it feels like. So a lot of confidence now and momentum, I feel like, going.
So you feel like you got that new wheel of yours locked in. You're ready for Darlington. You're ready for the Kansases and the Bristols and the.
I don't know if I'm ready for Darlington, but
what's that?
I don't know if I'm ready for Darlington. See about that one. That's a whole different animal.
Very different animal. Getting off the gas, letting the car wash up in the middle of the corners, getting back on the gas without the rear coming loose, coming off. Man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But man, third win on the season, great points position going into the chase in just a couple weeks. Man, Amor, I've expressed many times how you I am, and that just continues. Congratulations yet again, sir.
I appreciate that, man.
Yep. Any shout outs from you, buddy?
Yeah, let me shout out Outlaw for one, for sticking with me there. And same with the 34, and whoever was on the outside there at the end. I shout out to them guys. Shout out to Bot Plays for picking me to win. I'm glad I could earn him some extra stuff, whatever it was. Shout out to you guys and all the viewers that watch NNR, man. I'm just glad to say I'm in this league. So shout out to everybody in NNR, honestly.
And HD Motorsports for the setup.
Yeah, I get HD's Motorsports setups every week, so always a shout out to you, buddy.
Oh man, HD, you got anything for our winner besides forgetting to shout you out for the setup?
No, congratulations, and I hope we never do a super speedway race again. But congratulations to you, Moore.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, HD. Man, it's definitely a pleasure every Thursday to get to call these things with you. Thank you very much, man. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. As for me, guys, and for the rest of everybody else, thank you very much for checking out the NNR Cup race right here from Daytona, as I mentioned earlier, and also as you see on the bottom of your screen, right above NNR's information, we are going to Darlington next week. We're going to start off with the trucks on Sunday night, right around 9 o'clock. The Xfinity guys between 8:30 and 9, and then we'll be right back here next Thursday night with the Cup guys again from the Lady in Black, or Too Tough to whatever you want to call her. She's a wicked one to try to tame. So I will catch you all on Sunday night, or maybe sooner. Don't forget about those fun runs. Congratulations, Bot Plays. I'm sure Spurl will be getting a hold of you soon to get your information and have that trinket from the Zazzle page on nnrleague.com sent your way. Until then, please stay healthy, take care of each other, and we'll see you around the track.